Okay, day 128, Hillary's Henchmen. Just when you think an investigation's slowing down, Hillary delivers. Uh, Unbelievable. She has Adam Schiff trying to expose this Awan brothers thing. Uh, all these investigations that are phony end up blowing back on Hillary. It's just amazing. The one that I'm talking about, I'll go to the Awan brothers slide. If you're not familiar with the 320 under 25-year-olds that are being paid $160,000 a year in the on Capitol Hill in the House IT department. That's these guys. This is Jamal Awan. I believe he's a Pakistani national, making $160,000 a year above everyone else who's been there for 20 years. It's pretty good for a 22-year-old. Imran is his other brother, and I think he's about the same age. And then I think there's an older brother called Abid. But anyway, they had access to all of the top House intelligence committees, including Foreign Affairs, Homeland Security, and this is the most important House Permanent Select Committee. You probably saw Adam Schiff yesterday talking about, well, we just don't know yet, about the investigation of Trump and Russia. Now he's expanded Russian agents to be anyone who has ever lived. It could be the mother of Paul Manafort. He's expanded the definition. But again, this is going to just, him attracting attention to this committee is just going to bring the Awan brothers out. Now he's going to try to shift, Adam Schiff is going to try to shift this over to the Senate to get away from the Awan brothers, but it's coming. If you're not familiar with what the Awan brothers are about, we had several things happen. Well, first of all, up here, an article came out in American Spectator, and I can't remember who the author of this is, but this is this morning, saying, did Democrats aid and abet terrorists seeking American secrets? There was a connection of those Awan brothers to this Iraqi doctor who really is a counteragent to get stuff to Iran. Oh, I think this is Scott McKay. I can't quite read it. It's in this green type, but I think this is Scott McKay. So good article out today. I'll put it in the slides. Basically talking about, this story that we've been covering here. This is Jackie Spear. She is one of the reps. There's 20 different House reps that these three brothers had access to. So there's Spear, I didn't put her on here, but Duckworth, Carson, Castro, Schultz, Debbie Washington Schultz, Richmond, Frankels. Oh, there she is, Spear at the end. But there's 8, what they call the Gang of 8, that make these recommendations. Anyway, Jackie Spear here is writing a year ago to get these guys, the 3, I believe they're Pakistani nationals. I don't believe they're U.S. citizens, to get them top secret clearance. This is secure compartmentalized information. This is a SCIF. You don't get any higher than this in dealing with information. And here she's asking for background investigations because I believe a top secret clearance costs $30,000 a piece. So this appropriations request is for $125,000. Now, it turns out that on the 2nd of this month, there was 5 House staffers caught stealing equipment. By the way, the 3 Awan brothers were later fired for illegally being in those files. Okay, they were fired for illegally being in the files of these 8 representatives with this sensitive information. So, but then also in February of this year, we had 5 different people stealing equipment from 20 different House of Representatives, and these are hard drives. And so forth. So, and also computers. So we're wondering, are these, and they're also shared staffers here. I'm just wondering if these House staffers were the same as the Awan brothers up here. I don't think, this is Heather Cagill of, I can't remember the magazine right now. I'll put it in the notes. But I'm just wondering if we have a Watergate here. Not only do we, who ever heard of the story that 20 different reps had sensitive information stolen on hard drives and computers? And this story here about, being paid from Hezbollah, a Hezbollah contact, long, well-known Hezbollah contact. You'll remember Jackie Spear. She's her district is close to a part of San Francisco where Kate Steinle was murdered. That was the guy who had 7 convictions and had been deported from the United States 5 times, and the city of San Francisco refused to help deport him the 6th time. If they would have helped, the city of San Francisco would have helped, she'd be alive today. Somebody also sent me a note about this gal named, I believe her name's Monica Wolosewicz. She's a State Department employee, and she has an interesting story. She said ever since she put up a picture of Donald Trump in her cube, she's gotten all kinds of harassment, people cutting her brake lines, all this workplace. I guess the State Department, if you don't openly and overtly support Hillary Clinton, you are targeted. It's like, I remember the reporting on the unions in Cleveland, in the 60s and 70s. Well, I didn't report on them. I lived in that environment, and I saw people getting thrown off buildings and so forth. This goes back. The State Department environment sounds like the Teamsters on Lake Erie, in 1966. So I just wanted to say that it just seems like there's just callous disregard for American citizens in with these government employees in these hiring practices. You bring 3 brothers in from Pakistan, give them top secret clearance, they end up cleaning out all these top secret hard drives, and end up working with Hezbollah and working with Sunni groups, selling American secrets. And yet the women who are, longtime employees there, Americans, get their brake lines cut. It just seems it needs attention, is what I'm saying. I'll keep following this story today. That's it for this morning.